Good morning. It's that time again. We're going to talk about a couple newsworthy topics. If you have anything to contribute, please comment either on the tweet that I put out with this on there, on the video on YouTube, or however you can reach me. I am more than happy to discuss some of these articles with you, in my opinions and your opinions, and maybe we can come to some kind of consensus, right? That's what democracy is about. The first article I'm going to go over is United States Postal System Workers Union endorses Biden, citing threat to Postal Service survival. Okay. This particular article is 64% left, 21% center, and 14% right bias. So you can see the chart there. The union representing postal workers endorses former Vice President Joe Biden's White House bid Friday as the United States Postal Service finds itself in the middle of a national controversy over new changes by its Postmaster General. The National Association of Letter Carriers, which consists of nearly 300,000 active and retired postal workers, said Biden and his running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, will be effective allies in the White House. The decision to endorse them was based on input from union members via polling, surveys, responses to its candidate questionnaire, and a discussion with Biden. Vice President Biden was, and will continue to be a fierce ally and defender of the United States Postal Service, letter carriers, and our fellow postal brothers and sisters. NALC's endorsement and our support come down to Joe's steadfast support of us and his unwavering dedication to improving the lives of all working people throughout this great nation. So this comes as no surprise to me when yesterday the news reported that they were removing post office boxes throughout the nation. Okay, so you can go on social media or various news organizations and see trucks taking actual, the blue postal boxes off of street corners or from in front of the supermarkets and things like that. Donald Trump himself stated that if the Postal Service doesn't get funding, then mail-in ballots won't be a thing. It's a dot-to-dot situation here. This isn't speculation or conjecture. It's a path right to voter suppression. And if you can't see it, then maybe you need to revive with Vibrant, as they used to say back in the 80s. Thank you, United States Postal Service, for all that you do. I appreciate you. All right, here we go with childish insults. In struggle to land blow on Biden, Trump toys with nickname change. So this is a 20% left, 10% center, and 70% right. They seem to really like this one. Maybe there's your chart. U.S. President Donald Trump, who's used belittling nicknames to describe his opponents throughout his political career, toyed with a name change on Friday for his Democratic rival in the November 3rd election, Joe Biden. Unable to hold his signature large campaign rallies because of the pandemic, Trump brought about 300 police officers who support his re-election bid to the open area outside the clubhouse at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club. Because it's all about pushing his own properties, right? Trump polled the crowd on whether he should stick with Sleepy Joe or change his name to Slow Joe. I don't know, dummy Donald. What the hell do you think? Trump, 74, has frequently sought to sow doubts about Biden's competence due to his age, 77, a strategy that appears to have had little effect as Biden has held a consistent lead in the polls nationally and in many battleground states. What's better, Sleepy Joe or Slow Joe? Trump asked the crowd. I go back and forth. Yeah, you go back and forth between talking about yourself and talking about yourself too, so whatever. He polled the crowd on which name the audience liked better. Sleepy Joe got louder cheers. That's because we're talking about the crowd, okay? Anybody that's there at a Trump rally is okay with the garbage pail kids nicknames that this man produces. There is no professionalism in the way that he talks about people that are part of this country. There's no professionalism. Moving on. Look at this one. Left, 100%. 1 in 4 young people are reporting suicidal thoughts. Here's how to help. So this is completely a left-biased article. Maybe that'll tell you something. In the early days of the pandemic, many people came together to help each other, connecting over socially distant dinners and reaching out for video calls with friends they hadn't talked to in months. But this international crisis continues, and Americans are having trouble adjusting to the strain of our new reality. New psychological data taken during the pandemic shows the nation's mental health is languishing, according to data reported this week as part of the U.S. Centers for Disease and Control and Prevention's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report. Say that 3 times fast. Suicidal ideation is up among young people since last year, with as many as 1 in 4 people ages 18 through 24 having seriously considered suicide in the 30 days preceding the survey, according to the report, in which researchers surveyed 5,412 adults in the U.S. between June 24th and the 30th. It gets lonely, and physical interaction is part of the human condition, but also adaptability. We've adapted as a species through so many changes, and we can adapt through this one too. If you need somebody to talk to, there's so many of us out there that would be glad to be that shoulder to lean on, because sometimes we need it too. We are a community, and we need to be able to come together, speak to one another, and let us know that everything's going to be okay. It really is going to be okay. We have no choice in the matter. Getting help is a temporary period of your time that can push you forward, but just remember that suicide is permanent. Please, 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 if you feel as though you're having these thoughts, as soon as they start happening, seek help. The sooner the better. I strongly feel that. And here we are with the last article from the New York Times. Okay, so this is just the New York Times. There's no bias rating on this one. Okay. All right. Kamala Harris changes the race while Trump tells on himself. Joe Biden has raised more than $50 million since he named Senator Kamala Harris as his running mate, a massive outpouring of donations that could help his campaign expand the electoral map, and hinted at broad enthusiasm for the ticket. I, for one, am happy about it. A new poll from Marquette Law School finds the state of play in Wisconsin virtually unchanged since June. Biden leads Trump among registered voters 49% to 44%. In a Marquette poll in June, Biden led Trump 50 to 44% in a state that the president narrowly carried in 2016. The Biden campaign spent $14.6 million on television ads this week. The Trump campaign spent $7 million. Don't let that fool you. Okay, as we get closer to November, I believe that there's going to be an ad blitz that's going to be propaganda, and it's going to be hard for us to separate that propaganda in such a short time. I'm telling you that this is going to happen. It's just like the lock her up and the Hillary emails and the Russia, if you're listening. They're very good at capitalizing on this stuff, and we need to be ready for it. On Facebook, the Trump campaign spent $1.2 million, and the Biden campaign spent $6,500. Okay? That's unsurprising considering the fact that Zuckerberg seems to be a Zuckerberg in regard to Donald Trump. After a primary campaign that consumed all of 2019 and the first 3 months of 2020, followed by an extended vice presidential search, the Democratic ticket was finally settled this week in what was always widely considered to be a likely pairing, a Biden-Harris ticket. Let me talk about this point that occurred to me for 1 second. How many people in this administration have come and gone? Think about it from the start of this administration. How many of the people that came on with Trump are still there right now? That's pretty interesting, right? How many of these people afterwards did Trump trash or say, I barely know them, okay? And then you have Joe Biden, who did an extensive background investigation, extensive interview, probably sent out like reference sheets and things to friends and family. Would you trust Kamala with your vote? Anyway, professionalism. But the history-making announcement of Senator Kamala Harris as Joseph R. Biden Jr.'s running mate still felt electrifying to Democrats who donated $50 million to the Biden campaign in the 2 days after the pick. To put that in perspective, Mr. Biden raised just over $60 million in all of 2019. Boom. I've been saying that the vice president is going to change the perspective. Maybe some people aren't as enthusiastic about Joe Biden as they could be. I mean, I back the man, but if you're paying attention to social media and commentary, that's an idea that you see. But the pairing of these two, to me, is going to be it's going to be hard to beat, because I want to see a debate. I don't care for Mike Pence to debate Kamala Harris at this point, because it's like putting a blindfold on a guy that's supposed to dodge dodgeballs. You know what I mean? Let this strong woman run his mouth to her, and he's gonna go make sure that he cleans his room and makes his bed. Okay, I want to see her versus Donald Trump all day, because she's gonna shit on all of his little nitpicking, all of his little jokes and things like that. Dummy Donald. In any case, Trump's trying to say that she was his number one draft pick, as we see. Yeah, okay. Anyway, that's my last article for the day. I'm at WIKWEKO on Twitter, IndigenousPatriot.com. Hopefully you enjoyed our time together. Comment, share. Thank you.